YouTube, what's up, what's happening? Here I am bringing you another video, and today we're taking a look at the Sagola Junior 140 airbrush, or aerografo in Spanish. They reached out to me, said, hey, we want you to take a look at a couple of our products. And I selected a couple of products that I actually thought you guys would benefit from learning about. So the first product I requested was the Junior 140, and a lot of guys always in the comments are asking, what kind of airbrush should I get? What kind of airbrush? Over and over and over. So I always recommend a few. If you're just starting off, if you just want to learn or dab in it, and you just you don't want to commit too much money. There's always choices like this, which is a good beginner airbrush. You could do a few things with it, but it's also not super costly. So you could get into the airbrush for relatively cheap, and if you decide you like it, then later on you could upgrade off of something like this. But we're gonna go ahead and open it up and take everything out, and then we'll go from there. So here we have everything out of the package, and as you see, it's a nice sleek looking airbrush, and if I had to compare it to an airbrush right off the bat, I would say it looks like an Iwata HP BCS, standard dual action airbrush. This back part is plastic. It seems like plastic. Actually, no, that's metal. It's just painted black. Build quality looks pretty good. It has an adjuster here for your lever. This action is pretty smooth out of the box, so I have high hopes for this. It looks pretty quality. Does come with a nice cap to keep your needle nice and straight. Right off the bat, I do have to point out that the tip is countersunk, yeah. The nozzle, I do like the nozzle design with these, really fine nozzles. These type of nozzles do last longer and they're harder to break. But the countersunk clearance here on this make it really hard to clean off dry tip, which could be a problem. If you start having a lot of dry tip and you need to reach in there to clean that needle off, you're gonna have to unscrew this and go through that whole process of cleaning that off every time that happens, which is it's not super bad, and there are ways to get around that, and it is a beginner's airbrush, so you wouldn't expect that to have all the features of of a pro airbrush. But again, you can shave this extra material off if you really wanted to. But honestly, right off the box, and with the little spaces it has already sunk into the tip, it should help keep the overspray and stuff down when you're getting in really detailed, really close. So overall, I'd say the airbrush is pretty good quality. This kit retails for about 60 bucks, or about 60 euros. So not too bad. It comes with 2 little bottles, which that's cool. A lot of airbrushes don't come with any bottles at all nowadays, so coming with 2 bottles is awesome. It comes with an adapter for your hose here. The hose, let's open this hose and see how long this is. So the hose is not extremely long, but it is kind of like that bungee style hose, so it extends a little bit. Again, this is a beginner's kit, so you're not expecting a super long hose, but it's nice that it comes with a hose. It's a really tiny way to connect it on there, but it works just fine. It's a hose, it's all you need. It comes with a clamp to hold it up when you're not using it. Comes with some tools to be able to work on it. This looks like it fits right on the right on that nozzle there if you want to replace the nozzle. You get a paint cup, a quick change paint cup. The design on the paint cup is kind of messed up. If you can see, the siphon actually doesn't reach the bottom of the cup, which that could be a problem when you're actually, you know, mixing paint in there. You're gonna actually have to have it at least a quarter of the way full to be able to process paint through this. And that's just, you know, this nozzle doesn't reach the bottom of the cup. So this is good to have. It's just not very good quality one, but again, nice to have nonetheless. It comes with an instruction manual, so if you're not very sure of how to use your airbrush and all that, I'm sure there's some kind of warranty information and all that in here, if you're into that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and spray some stuff with this. I'm gonna, you know, run it through its paces, and then I'll give you guys some quick feedback on what I think about it and what I would change, if anything at all. Again, this is a beginner's airbrush. This goes for 60 bucks, and you know, it feels quality. It feels hefty in your hand. It doesn't feel very dainty at all, and it's like very, very smooth. I like how smooth this action is on here. The lever is actually kind of long too, if you could tell that, so you have a lot of travel, it feels like, which is really good for control. I like the design of this quite a lot, actually, for a beginner. So yeah, let me run it through its paces, and we'll be back to give you some feedback. So as you can see, this Junior 140 actually performs a lot better than I expected. For a beginner's airbrush, this atomizes paint very, very, very well. I was trying to turn down the pressure to see if I could actually get this to like start spitting or something, but it actually does a really good job of turning the paint into a nice fine spray. So I had it all the way down to like 25 psi, and I was still able to get these starbursts out of it and stuff. So I am really, really amazed with this airbrush. It feels really high quality. I've tried other airbrushes in the past, as you guys know. I've tried the VL, the Pache VL, and I wasn't happy with that airbrush, mainly because it didn't atomize paint. And here we have this entry-level airbrush, and it atomizes paint, you know, just as good, or if not better, than my Iwata HPBCS. This, as you can, like that color blend right there, is just so subtle and so nice. I'm a little bit in shock over this airbrush. It performs a little bit better than I thought, than I expected, for sure. So, you know, if you don't live in the U.S., if it's hard to find, you know, Badger or Iwatas and stuff, or if, you know, you just want some other brand, you know, if you haven't had good luck with those, I would definitely recommend the Sagola Junior 140 for beginners. You know, if you're just starting out, if you watch some videos and you're like, hey, I want to try that, this is a good cheap airbrush to buy. You know, usually good and cheap don't go together, but this is one of the rare instances where I could be like, this is worth the money. I could do anything with this airbrush that I can with my other ones. There's nothing really holding this back, and the only drawback really would be the countersunk tip here, which makes it really hard to clean the dry tip off the needle. But again, you can shave that material off if it really bugs you, you know, or you could just take the tip off and clean the needle off. It does lose points for that, but again, that is a very minor complaint when the rest of the airbrush works so well and it's built very well. This back piece is metal, it's not plastic, and you know, again, compared to some other airbrushes on the market for the same price, I would say this is one of the better beginner ones. So I hope that helps you guys out a little bit, me taking a look at that. Again, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Helps me out either way. If you like these videos and want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing you more videos like this more frequently. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.